Good afternoon. Welcome to our Wednesday, March 20th, 2019 City Council meeting. For the meeting, can we call roll call, please?
Mayor Pacheco,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hodge,
Here.
Councilmember Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Here.
Councilmember Risen. We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anybody for public comments? Nobody for public comments.
Yeah, if any, we have two items in closed session, just for the record, the case of City of Calexico v. Santo Tomas and the public employee appointment. If anybody has any comments on those two items right now, would be the appropriate time to comment.
This gentleman's raising his hand, sir. The gentleman over there. Come forward, sir.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Alberto Alviso y tenía unas preguntas nada más. He estado presente en los días de la corte de Santo Tomás contra la ciudad de Calexico y refiriendo a lo que el juez dijo, ¿hay algún plan de parte de ustedes para acercarse a negociar con ellos sobre el tema? Porque pues nosotros los vendedores seguimos sufriendo las consecuencias y seguimos batallando y pues prácticamente hoy sí estamos una semana sin trabajar y no ha habido sueldo para nuestro hogar y muchos de nuestros compañeros están sufriendo. Entonces nomás hacerle esa pregunta, no sé si me la pueden contestar, pero en referencia a lo que dijo el juez, pues sí hay planes de acercarse.
Sí, es el punto del comentario público, no es tiempo, no es tiempo para una discusión pero sí le puedo decir que sí tomamos sus comentarios en cuenta y,
Okay,
y sí
gracias.
reconocemos la situación que se encuentran ustedes.
Okay. Y pues nomás hacerles que tengan nos tengan en mente a todos nosotros, ¿verdad? Ojalá se solucione pronto esto y sea para el bien de todos, para el bien de Calexico y para el bien de los negocios. Sí, gracias.
Gracias.
Otra persona, anybody else wishes to address the council? Nadie? Okay, we're going to adjourn to closed session. Good evening and welcome to our city council meeting. We're returning from closed session. Call to order.
Mayor Pacheco,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hodge,
Here.
Councilmember Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Ariola Fernandez,
Here.
Councilmember Risen. Here. We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Would you rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Figueroa, could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Mr. Dale, would you lead us in the mission statement?
Mission statement. Together, we pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico.
Thank you. Have anyone for invocation?
If we can remain standing, please. Bueno, Señor, te queremos dar las gracias hoy este día, de tener la oportunidad de poder estar aquí sirviendo al público, Señor, y te pedimos por favor que todas las decisiones que se tomen hoy, que pueda ser en honra de la ciudad y de ti, mi Señor, y te pedimos que guíes a todos con una conciencia abierta y con un corazón abierto para que se pueda dictar tu gloria. En el nombre de Jesús, damos las gracias. Amén.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Any closed session announcements, Mr. Campos?
Thank you, Mayor. City Council been in closed session on two items as described on today's agenda. We received direction, but no actions were taken. Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements.
These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Mayor Pacheco will have community office hours to hear the concerns of the citizens the fourth Tuesday of the month from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at City Hall in the City Manager's Conference Room, 608 Heber Avenue, here in Calexico.
Thank you. We're down to presentations, and the very first one would be recognition of an Eagle Scout from Calexico that I believe he's the only one in Calexico that's ever been this rank and this status for any length of time. He's the only one, I think. So Sebastian, come on down. Let me read this down here. An Eagle Scout is the highest form of Boy Scout that you could receive. This gentleman has earned the status of Eagle Scout. I was told that out of 5,000 Eagle Scouts, Boy Scouts, one becomes an Eagle Scout. That's how elite
Wow.
this status, this rank is for a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. Dan Martinez, this Mayor's Award of Excellence is presented to you in recognition of your Court of Honor on earning the rank of Eagle Scout. We celebrate your contributions to the community. The City of Calexico thanks you for your commitment to public service and for inspiring others to follow your example. Your dedication to the ideals that the Boy Scouts of America represents will serve you well as you help lead the next generations of Boy Scouts in our communities. Signed, Mayor Luis Pacheco.
All right. Excellent.
He thanked his mother, his grandmother, his uncle, his tias, his todo mundo le ayudó. Everybody helped him. We have a proclamation for Down Syndrome Day on March 21st. Ready? Ready? Whereas there are an estimated 6 million people with Down syndrome in the world today, and
Whereas people with Down syndrome deserve fundamental human and civil rights, and yet in many countries, people with Down syndrome are still not afforded those rights and privileges. And whereas despite dramatic increases in lifespan and intellectual ability in the U.S., there is still much work to be done regarding the rights to equality, inclusion, education, medical care, research, and support for people with Down syndrome in the U.S. and abroad. And
Whereas, starting with Singapore in 2006, the date 321 has come to represent 3 copies of chromosomes 21, hence 321, and has developed into a movement to celebrate and value people with Down syndrome around the world. And whereas the Gerardo Eddie Páez, who has Down syndrome, is a member of our community who loves to ride his bicycle along the city streets, is loved and respected by all.
Whereas Gerardo Páez engages in collaboration, community groups, and organizations specifically to benefit people and youth with Down syndrome. And whereas through public awareness, Kennedy Gardens Neighborhood Watch, the City of Calexico, and others celebrate the hard work and progress made by parents, self-advocates, medical professions, researchers, educators, and many nonprofit organizations all over the world, including but certainly not limited to the Global Down Syndrome Foundation, headquartered in Denver, Colorado, and
Whereas the City of Calexico joins the United Nations and over 191 other countries to celebrate and walking in the lives and equality of the people with Down syndrome. And
Now therefore, I, Louis Pacheco, Mayor of the City of Calexico, do hereby proclaim March 21st, 2019 as World Down Syndrome Day in the City of Calexico, California, and invite all citizens and agencies to celebrate World Down Syndrome Day on March 21st, 2019. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and official seal of the City of Calexico on the 20th day of March, 2019. Louis Pacheco. Do we have a representative for the Down syndrome? Mr. Paez.
Eddie here?
Eddie.
Eddie!
We can get him from Bing. We can get him from Bing.
Lose some weight here going up and down, but our next presentation proclamation is honoring our we got autism awareness. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. National Autism Awareness Month, April 2019. Whereas autism is the result of a neurological disorder that affects the normal functioning of the human brain and can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, social economic background, and
Whereas symptoms and characteristics of autism may present themselves in a variety of combinations and can result in significant lifelong impairment of an individual's ability to learn, develop healthy interactive behaviors, and understand verbal as well as nonverbal communication, and whereas more children are being diagnosed on the autism spectrum, resulting in 1 in 66 children at the national level being on the spectrum, and the figures show that in the United States there are 1.5 million people affected, and there are 1,500 families in the Imperial Valley alone affected by this disorder, and
Whereas people with autism require special services and community support to ensure that their health and security is taken care of, and the families also require support because of the psychological and financial strain that comes with having a child with autism.
Whereas the United Nations General Assembly declared in unanimity April 2nd as World Autism Awareness Day in Article A, RES 62-139 in order to highlight the need for contribution to the betterment of quality of life for people with autism so that they could live fulfilling lives as members of society.
Whereas the City of Calexico proudly supports the annual observance of Autism Awareness Month and World Awareness Day. The hope that is will lead to a better understanding of the autism spectrum disorder, celebrating the work of advocates, professionals, and family members, and all who work to hold a brighter tomorrow alongside those with autism. And
Now therefore be it resolved that I, Louis Pacheco, Mayor of the City of Calexico, do hereby proclaim April 9th, 2019 as National Autism Awareness Month and encourage all employees and residents to participate in activities within our municipality with the intent to become better educated on autism and create a better community for people with autism. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and the official seal of the City of Calexico on the 20th day of March 2019. And we have a representative.
Ja. Ms. Karina
very good.
Collacha is the representative from
That's our
Altico.
representative.
Oh, is there? You guys want, I don't know, I don't want to have you guys broken down.
No, it's fine.
Can we get it?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mayor.
They
Go
have
ahead,
a
Ms.
banner
Smith.
they would like to take a picture with me.
Oh, then all of us, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, this way is probably faster.
Cheese, pizza. Thank you. Okay, next one. I like these, but then again, what do we got? Lions.
On community?
Lions.
Lions.
Here we go. Celebrating Calexico Lions Day, March 30th, 2019. Whereas Lions Club International was founded in 1917 by business leaders and visionary Melvin Jones, and the association has since become the largest nonprofit service organization in the world, and
Whereas Lions Clubs International strives to empower volunteers to serve their communities, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lion Clubs, and
Whereas the Lions motto, serve, represents the Lions' commitment to fighting blindness, diabetes, childhood cancer, feeding the hungry, caring for the environment, and
Whereas District 4L6 accounts for 59 Lions clubs and 1,491 members in San Diego and Imperial counties, District 4-46 proudly upholds the mission and values of Lions Clubs International, and whereas Calexico Lions Club was chartered on February 23rd, 1949, sponsored by Mexicali and El Centro Lions Club, and
Whereas Calexico Lions Club will celebrate the 70th year anniversary on March 30th, 2019 at the Women's Improvement Club Center, 320 Heber Avenue, Calexico, California, to increase awareness of Lionism and to promote the service of their local community. And whereas the Lions Club International will continue to serve as a global leader in community service and humanitarian outreach.
Now therefore, I, Louis Pacheco, Mayor of the City of Calexico, do hereby proclaim March 30th, 2019 to be Calexico Lions Day in the City of Calexico, California. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and the official seal of the City of Calexico on the 20th day of March 2019. Congratulations, Lions International.
Ms. Terry Gonzalez?
Terry Gonzalez. You guys wanna?
I guess
Yeah.
so.
You guys wanna go down? It's up to you.
I guess so.
Yeah, I'll get on this side because, now we're down for a presentation by our Chief of Police.
No.
No,
We still have one more.
Oh, I stand corrected. We do have one more. Our Sun Community
Yes.
Recognition. Sorry for that. If I can find my paper. Sun Community is here.
Yes.
Sun Community Federal Credit Union's 65th anniversary. Whereas on March 9, 1954, the Imperial Valley U.S. Employees Federal Credit Union organized in Calexico with 10 chartered members with the focus of providing products and services specifically to government employees, and
Whereas in 1968, the credit union's name changed to Government Agencies Federal Credit Union and moved to El Central, and whereas the following branches of government agencies, Federal Credit Union, have opened in the Imperial Valley cities such as 1981, Brawley, 82, Calexico, 91, Imperial, 92, El Centro, that's their main headquarters, 2000, Hopeville, and 2001, Calipatria.
Whereas in 2002, the credit union officially changed its name to Sun Community Federal Credit Union, and
Whereas in 2013, the credit union expanded once again with the opening of the both Cardenas branch and the newly built Brawley branch. Ann?
Whereas Sun Community Federal Credit Union is currently the largest locally owned financial institution in the Imperial Valley with 7 branches, and by further expanding into the Coachella Valley and Riverside County, now serves over 40,000 members who live, work, worship, and volunteer in these communities.
Now therefore, I, Louis Pacheco, Mayor of the City of Calexico, do hereby proclaim and commemorate the 65th anniversary of Sun Community Federal Credit Union. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and the official seal of the City of Calexico on this 20th day of March 2019. Congratulations.
Maria
Do we have a
Lucas,
representative?
Branch Manager.
I'd just like to say that, if you don't mind, all these presentations proclamations were excellent, but I have a special feeling about Sun Community. I think that they do excellent work, excellent service, and they are a real staple of our community. So once again, I would like to applaud you. I thank you very much that you're here in Calexico and other parts of the valley doing the wonderful service that you provide. So thank you very much.
And we'd like to recognize Maria Lucas as the branch manager.
Yes.
So Maria is the branch manager. And Terry Gonzalez is, I believe, the president of the Lions. Terry?
Terry?
Ms. Karina Kulgacha was with the autism.
Yes. Very good, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Chief, are you ready?
I thought maybe you just for fun.
No, come on down.
I was getting ready to leave.
Come on down. Presentation, Chief Gerardo, update on our PD departments.
So this presentation that I'm making today is going to be pretty quick. I didn't want to bore you guys with graphs and bar graphs and everything, because it's pie charts and all that stuff, because all our UCRs, which is Uniform Crime Reporting, is on the FBI website. I just want to give you guys a quick rundown on how in 1 year, even though we do need to improve in a lot of our services, we have shown some improvement. A lot of people haven't seen it, but when you're there day to day and you are seeing results, it's something remarkable. We've got a long ways to go, people. We're not there, but like I said, I'm sorry. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council. I'm just excited that I have such a big crowd. Anyways, I like that. Anyways, here we go. So one of the quotes that I tell my guys all the time, or our department, our officers, and our employees, is that, and it's really small. Is Diego? Can you turn on the lights really quick? Like, there you go. Oh, okay. There you go, that's better. Well, to add value to others, one must first value others. And that's one thing that I have told the staff at the PD is that we have to value other people before we value ourselves. And that's one of the things that I push all the time. March 23rd, 2018 is where our journey began together at the PD. And I was named the interim chief. One of the biggest highlights was that during that time, this is from the Ivy Press, was consideration of alternative police services sought for Calexico. Our department, the city of Calexico, was going through a really bad morale. Everybody thought they were going to lose their jobs. People were applying out left and right. I went from having a force of about 28 to going down to 16. Everybody was leaving. Everybody's jumping ship. And then in July 4th of 2018, the city council, this is the headline, was Calexico Council approves police officers contract. That was a big morale booster. And I want to thank to the community that backed us up, the council that approved it, our city manager that had trust in our city, in ourselves and the staff to move along, and all the department heads that helped me. Finance, HR, everybody helped. So the council approves our contract, and there it is. Let's get to work. I put those two happy cops because that's how my guys were the whole time after they got approved. They figured, you know what, I'm not going unemployed. I don't have to give up my home. I'm not losing my cars. And this to me it means something a lot because Sergeant Legaspi last year was his 29th year anniversary of being at the Calexico Police Department. If you look at the top photo, that was his dad. He was a mayor at the time, and his dad pinned his badge as he became a police officer. His father now is in his 90s. He's still alive, and they kind of try to recreate this. And down at the lower left corner, it's his dad's repinning his badge on the same day, 29 years later. This is our communications division. And of course, we have an officer in there, but our communications division is very, very busy. They handle all the 911 calls for incoming calls, business calls, the police radio, fire radio, and EMS too. Our goal for next year is hopefully to have an addition of 2 or 3 more dispatchers to serve the community better. And just real quick numbers, this you look at it in 2018, we had we received 27,200 calls. Those are the phone calls that came into our center. Out of those, we had 21,274 calls for service. That's what the police department responded to. Okay, and I have 3 officers and a sergeant working every shift to cover as many calls as we have. This is a very busy town, guys. The calls received from January to today, we're at 8,795 calls have come through our center. And I can access that through AT&T through our computers. PDs, the officers, have taken 6,885 reports total between my police officers, animal control, traffic division, parking division. This year, the way we're trending, we're gonna be at over 34,000 calls coming in through our center. It's almost a 30% increase. That's the way it's trending. And by the end of the year, we'll have over 27,000 calls that we're gonna respond to. That's a lot of calls. You know, a lot of people don't realize that, but if you look at it, I think we're saying like it was 50-something calls a day. These are some of the faces of the crowd, and I think Loli Torres took that one with, was it you, Loli, or you put it on your Facebook? That's where I got it from. On the top left corner, one of my officers was over there by the church at 4th and Rockwood, saw this older lady in a wheelchair, and he decided to get off his car and assist her. This is a brand new officer last year. Up on the top, we have my administrative assistant, Officer Cindy Frager, who's been here for 29 years, and one of my senior dispatchers, Veronica Valenzuela. Down at the lower left corner is Cordova Park, when we got the new playground equipment, and then down Cindy again. And the reason I put Cindy is because everybody knows who she is, but she actually does a lot, and she handles a lot of calls and is very well known in the city of Calexico. I only have 2 female officers. It's Cindy Fraker and Miriam Vega. So if you guys are women that have gone through the academy, apply, because I need women to help us. You guys don't understand how easy a female can de-escalate a call like this. Guys tend to calm down faster with females than with us. They have a macho thing to prove with us. They want to fight us all the time. Just a real quick, this is the type of stuff we do. Arson. If you look at the photo on the, it says arson. There's a guy standing next to a trash bin, and he was doing these downtown. The next photo is the trash can on fire with the help of the fire department and my guys. The guy's wearing a sad face now because he got arrested within minutes of that. The one on top, on your top right, yes, we did get a grenade, guns, and some crossbows. It's against the law. You can't have that stuff. Crossbows you can own, but not the way he had them. Gangs, drugs, guns, illegal money. Yes, people, Calexico does have that. It's not, some people think that it's a sleeping town, but if you look at the guy's wrist, it says M. M is the Mexican Mafia. And it's a prison gang, one of the most powerful prison gangs in California. We do have them here in Calexico. Money, drugs, and guns. Here in the bottom, right there's a gun, money. And we find here in Calexico, small sleepy town, we find there a lot. I'm not going to scare you for you guys not to go anywhere, but our police force is out there and they know what to look for. We get information. Prior to March of 2018, we did not have an evidence officer full time. We got our evidence officer back around June, and this is the way this office looked. Fire Chief, can you turn it off? Because you can't really see how. Yeah. Let me see if we can get just one more. There you go. So if you look at this, he has 3 evidence offices, and this was really bad. And as a police department, if we have evidence like this, the auditors come in, we're done. So he worked very hard, and with the help of some other people in our department, that's how the office looks now. Okay. Our Sally Port and property container. If you look to your left, you can't see nothing. This is how it is today. Cleaned it up for us. And he worked very hard to get this going. Animal control. Animal control is one of the busiest group of people, and something that I'm trying to improve slowly but surely as we look for grants. But one of the things that we've done is we've partnered up with Dee's Rescue in El Centro, with the Rancho Coastal and Encinitas, Humane Society of San Diego, Wings of Rescue, and this is an organization that flies pets all over to 42 states and 3 provinces in Canada. And so far, from 2013 to now, they've done over 31,000 pets. So we've had some of our pets go to state of Washington that we find in the streets, and state of Washington and Ohio, and these are dogs. They go out there. So some of these pets probably are living better than they were out here in the streets, because they actually are pets that the vet sees them before they fly out, and they already have forever homes.
I transported one of your dogs, Heather White, you guys called me, and I picked up the golden lab at the Calexico Animal Control, which I didn't know where it was, and drove it up to Alpine and met from the way
And I thank you, ma'am. We have a lot of people that help us. One of the reasons, if you look at this, our animal control is, these are cages that were made by one of our animal control officers is a certified welder. He actually made these cages. He's remodeling these. He remade these. And then Diana Daniels and a group of her friends, and Juanita, and I'm sorry if I forget your names, but they're the ones that push for this green area here. And I got to give them props, because they've helped us bring this area, this animal control facility up. I think that we're better off than other places. There's a lot of improvement to be done, but little by little, we have heaters that we're going to install, and we're going to get some new coolers this year. I mean, we have to be humane. The state law requires us to be humane and try to do what we can.
And also they have that Facebook page, which is really nice.
Yes, so we started a Facebook page, something that we had to be real careful with, because we didn't want people posting things other than what's supposed to go up there, but now we have it under control. Here we are working with other agencies. One of the biggest things that our department has done is that we work well now with every department in the county and actually every department within the city. There's always been inner little, like brothers and sisters. We don't get along sometimes, but we do. We help the fire department, they help us, and then the one in the middle is the relationship that we established with the Mexican customs, with aduana. And this guy ran from us on a motorcycle, got caught by the Mexican aduana, and here we are, officers are bringing him back in handcuffs with a stolen motorcycle. In the past, they never returned him. They would let him go through, they went south, and they wouldn't even get a name, nothing, because they would pay a mordida. We just established a really good relationship with the licenciado down there, and he's actually from Mexicali, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but our traffic problem is not that bad because between 3 p.m. to 7 or 8 p.m., he opens all 8 lanes going south.
Nice.
So that's something, that's a relationship that you have to establish and maintain with them in order to service the community better. Community first, that's my motto. I tell my guys, community first. This is kind of dark right here, but Officer Miguel Gonzalez has a little girl on top of his shoulders, and he walked her across the street. She was barefoot, and so he picked her up, put her on his shoulders, and walked her across the street one day, and somebody took a picture of it and sent it to me. Here are my officers at Cordova Park playing with the kids of the community, and over here we have our SRO, Officer Hernandez, teaching at the law enforcement class at the high school. So he goes over there and helps off the teacher, which is Mike Davis, and so we go out there and we trade off and we show our students from Calexico how to do police work and what to do. These are your future police officers or DEA or Border Patrol or whatever, but they're in law enforcement. Our police explorers are a very important part of our department because they lead all parades, they volunteer. I started as a police explorer, so these guys, one of these days might be your next chief of police. They do a lot of community events, and then I have my reserves up there that they don't get paid, come out here and they actually have police officers' powers when they're in uniform with another officer. This is some of the awareness that we do. Last year, we put blue light bulbs for autism awareness. We flew this patch for breast cancer, and we did this for our Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and this one was our police officer, law enforcement memorial services that happens every April. I put this slide because this is history for me. Oops. Eagle Scout Award, like the mayor said, I don't think they've had anybody in Calexico. They tried to trace it back all the way to the 1950s. Correct me if I'm wrong, and they couldn't find anyone that's ever been has had the honor to be an Eagle Scout. So Sebastian Martinez invited us. His mom invited us, and Officer Manuel Ceja, who that same week we got promoted to sergeant. Presented with him. He read an oath. Was it an oath that he read? He read an oath for him. Presented to him. I presented him a letter of commendation on behalf of the police department, and here we took a picture with all his pens or badges that you get, right? It was a very good event, and I was honored that we were included in this because this is history in the making for Calexico. Our police budget for 18-19, our department finances seem to be right on track, and we should be below or right on budget when we end our fiscal year. And the cartoon's pretty funny, but I'll skip it. Did you guys read what it says? Yeah. It says police interview room, and it says, due to police cutbacks, I'm going to be good cop and bad cop. So if you guys see the movies, there's always two guys, good cop, bad cop. Well, we can only afford one, so only one guy does it. The department training, one of the biggest things we did is that I'm almost done, you don't have to leave. That's a joke. Knock, knock. Okay. Anyways, our department training this last year through police officer standards and training, we have to have mandated training. And thank you to my finance director that allowed me to go to training. And we have had a lot of a lot of discussions because she didn't understand the fact that, at first, now she does, but at first she didn't understand that we have to do so many hours of training or else we fall out of compliance. So we do a lot of department training. Some of the in-house training we did was a California law enforcement teletype system. If we don't follow our mandates or rules, we get cited, they take away our CLETs, we can't do police work. Supervisor training, subordinates, our post training, assertive supervision training, field training officers, dispatch training, tactical training, supervision training, and liability training. And the next one, I'm almost done, guys, is the sergeant's promotion. Promoted were Detective Orozco became Sergeant Orozco, Officer Sean Acuna became Sergeant Sean Acuna, and then Manuel Ceja became Sergeant Manuel Ceja. We hadn't promoted anybody since 2014. So that was a big one for us, big step. The greatest accomplishment is never falling, but is rising again after you fall. So that's our model. That's another one we follow. We fell, but we're back up. And we're not going to go back down. We're going to keep on going. What we accomplished, well, we kept our department, improving morale. You can ask my guys, and it's okay. You don't have to tell me when they say they don't like me, but their morale's better. We have the we can and let's try it attitude. We can do it, or if we don't can do it, let's try it. If we fail, oh well. Well, at least we tried. We reestablished a family environment at the police department. Teamwork is one of the biggest things that we have. These guys work very well together. Reestablish working relationships with other city departments, like I said before, and that reestablish participation at the Imperial County Narcotics Task Force, Imperial County Drug Coalition, IVECA, which is our radio system for the whole county, and we became active again with the Calexico Unified School District Safety Committee. And number 8 says community first again. And like I said, we're learning a lot of new things, new ways of policing, and we're trying our hardest to do our best. My goals for this coming year is to hire a lieutenant, 2 more sergeants, 10 more police officers, 2 dispatchers, and 2 records clerks. Just because I'm asking for it doesn't mean I'm going to get it, but I hope I do get it, because we run a more efficient police department, and we wear lots of hats. Right now I'm wearing the hat that was chief, lieutenant, sergeant. I have my lieutenants wearing hat of sergeant, patrol officer, and we have our sergeants wearing 2 hats too. So it's pretty hard. My equipment replacement this coming year, and I should have some money on the side for that, is the dispatch radio consoles. I have to get 3 new ones. They run about $400,000, a little bit over that. Mobile data computer replacement, which is our computers in our cars, will run me about $100,000. Evidence tracking software and barcoding capabilities, that's going to help me keep track of all my evidence for when we do audits and for prosecutions too. The bulletproof vest, we're up to our 5th year. We replace them every 5 years, and the U.S. government pays 50% of the cost for that. Our police vehicle replacement, we got to look into replacing them, but we're just going to start looking into it. We probably won't get new cars till the following fiscal year. Not this one, but the following. Community goals, continue youth engagement, something we've been doing. Senior citizen outreach, something we're going to start doing. The illegal taxi cabs at our dead operations, we're going to start doing that pretty soon. Abandoned vehicles, and doing neighborhood sweeps. So if you guys have vehicles that are dirty, that look abandoned, and we mark them, don't get upset. It's just that they look dirty, or somebody called that it's been parked there for more than 120 days. Cordova Park, we said we were going to adopt it. We want to officially adopt that this coming year. And the community service clubs, right now we're partnering up with the Rotary Club, and we're going to do an event for Easter. So it's going to be the police department and them. And we have many more things to do. Of course, I can't leave this without putting our fallen officer from Calexico, who back in November 1st of 2007 passed away tragically in an accident. We have that memorial for him at the PD. And last but not least, our city, our watch. That's our tower, water tower, and that's our police car. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for that quick update. And let's hope we do have money for you can have all those hires that you're looking for. We need to go back and improve our agenda. Is there a second?
I'll make that second.
All those in favor of approving the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to public comments.
This is the time for the public to address the city council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city council. The mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. If the item you wish to comment on is on consent, please comment now. The city council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the city council. Beatriz Sayas.
Hi, I'm kind of deaf. Beatriz Sayas, I'm a resident and also a real estate investor here in the city. And I'm here because I'm super concerned about the way Animal Control Services has been funded and managed. That was very eye-opening and, a good signal moving forward. But in the past, we have had an increase of residents, which means an increase of pets, because I've seen that even with my tenants, and also translates in an increase in strays. And the packet that I just passed around, besides listing some of my concerns, it gives you a glimpse of what goes on when strays don't go through the proper protocol and they're removed from the jurisdiction, making it harder for the owners to find them. Also, what happens when the animals or the dogs are not, especially the larger dogs, are not picked up at the local shelter. Obviously, they have to be put down, killed, in order to give space for the new ones coming in. And last but not least, I know there's an issue with cats, and I have enclosed a copy of a grant that we wrote in hopes that it will help. It was not the solution, but at least, a good start to help with the science-based trap and neuter and release programs that other cities, college campuses, and hospitals across the country do it. And I also enclosed a copy of, the grant, and hopefully we'll hear about it if we get it, because that targets just the city of Calexico. 100% of the funds stay here, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of grants out there, primarily because of the changes in the law and the political climate when it comes to animal rights and pets, because corporations do see the writing on the wall. This is a new economy, primarily because of the technological advances, social media, the millennials, you get it. And that's why you have brands like Versace and all this makeup industry saying everything's cruelty-free. And actually, China yesterday just passed that no more testing on animals, so that's big. So I'm not here to criticize, and I know there's a lot of room for improvement. I met with the city manager a month ago. I know we left there. We're going to have a follow-up meeting, look at the resources, pull in every single nonprofit, and believe me, I'm here to tell you, I'm rolling up the sleeves. Let's do this together, because when we work together as a group, we can accomplish more. We have the data. We have the, being on the border, there's a lot of need. And it just makes me hope, really, and I got involved because seeing the examples of the young people, back in December, I met this girl who's a low-income, first-generation college student, trapping, neutering 80 cats. She has trapped 80 cats, $25 a piece. That was 2018. Kudos to her, but I think this is a service that we, the city, should be doing, And honestly, this mess that we're in, it's me and you, the older generation, that we're passing on to the younger generation. But it makes me hopeful because they're willing to do the work. So hopefully we get a follow-up meeting.
Yes.
The sky is the limit, and so who's it? Hashtag, we rising together, right? Thank you.
We will have a meeting.
Thank you.
Gloria Guzman.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Good evening, City Councils of the members. And here. Can you guys hear me now? Does it work? Yeah? Okay. So my name is Laura Guzman, and I am also a Calexico resident. I came today to address the issue of the recent ordinance that was adopted by the city that reads as, quote, prohibiting a person from feeding a feral cat. So as you may know, feral cats or stray cats, or what we like to call them community cats, they reproduce very quick because they're not fixed, they're not altered. However, starving these cats will not be the solution to the multiplication of the animal. I've been here before and I've addressed this issue presented to you as far as the best effective and humane method to controlling the cat population. You know, I am thankful that a year ago the trapping stopped and the euthanasia as well. But believe me, we haven't stopped doing the TNR. Like Beatrice mentioned, we did TNR a total of 76 cats through the assistance of El Centro, Brawley, and San Diego FCC. There's other organizations that have stepped in, but yet I haven't seen much effort from Calexico. I have had different meetings with the mayor, the chief, who have been very, very supportive, but yet this new ordinance is not the solution. If you stop feeding a cat, the cat will find a different source of food, and you will see them in your trash cans. You will see them behind parking lots in schools. And right now we're actually working with CHS. There's a total around 36 cats that are unfixed, and they will continue to populate. So most of the time, what we come across is senior citizens and that are feeding these animals. We are not just feeding animals. We fix them and then we feed them. So, in other words, we are taking care of the problem. We need to adopt a city ordinance that will not penalize citizens for trying to be humane towards the animal population. We need to bring awareness about trap, neuter, return. Otherwise, this will never stop. And this is not a cat versus dog issue. This is an issue affecting our community, and we see it a lot. If you drive by 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th Street, you will see piles, they're called cat colonies of cats. So I will, if we take the time, I know Mr. Hodge did agree to meet up and, set a committee for this. We can work together in a spirit of collaboration that will be much better positioned and for an outcome of, lessening the reproduction of animals and multiplying. It's not going to stop if we don't do anything about it, and if we don't feed the cats, again, it's not the best solution. I did bring up a report from the American Bar Association, and I will present it to you guys before we leave so that you guys can take a look at the report and the limitations and understanding the issue better. So that's it.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Loli Torres, 46 Las Flores Drive, Pioneer, resident of Calexico. I'm here representing Los Amigos in regards to item number 18, in regards to consultant for the waste. We are in support of keeping Allied Waste as our provider. I don't see why you have to go get a consultant. Isn't somebody doing their homework and researching and trying to work with the company? We need them. There are some local residents that work for Allied. Let's start taking care of our own. There's some people here from the senior citizens. I don't know if they want to come up and talk, but they provide a very good service. You call them, if you're handicapped, they'll come and take out your trash cans and put them back in. Several of us have used that service. And they're also willing to work with us or work with the city. I don't see the need for paying out money for consultants. Seems like somebody's not doing their homework. So that's our feelings, and we hope you consider it. Don't come to us just for the election time. Help us keep Allied Waste. Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
just
Armando
a
Martinez.
correction, it's called Republic now.
Armando Martínez.
Muy buenas tardes a los miembros del concilio en general. Mi nombre es Armando Martínez, soy comerciante y pertenezco a lo que es el BIT. La razón por la que estoy el día de hoy es para hacer nomás algunas observaciones que desde la última junta que tuvimos en diciembre 18 del 2017 hemos estado esperando acción, Miguel, con relación a lo que a nosotros nos consideran, que es el BIT, el mejoramiento a lo que es el comercio. Todos los comerciantes estamos sumamente molestos porque no ha habido una acción que se vea por parte de la ciudad en tomar acciones. Cada uno de ustedes no necesitamos traerles tanta información, pero se darán cuenta de que tenemos una ciudad olorosa a orines, llena de cartones, de homeless. Los negocios están algunos cerrados por la falta de interés y de apoyo de la ciudad. Para mí es una situación preocupante porque desde que formé parte del BID, junto con el otro grupo de personas, nos hemos interesado en apoyar el crecimiento como comerciantes, de que esta ciudad crezca en conjunto, porque no somos franquicias, las franquicias muchas veces tienen el apoyo y si no se retiran, y así de fácil, ¿no? Pero nosotros como comerciantes hemos visto inclusive los compañeros del Santo Tomás que cerraron por las cuestiones que desafortunadamente tuvieron, y en lo personal no he visto yo un apoyo por parte de la ciudad. Creo yo que es tiempo de que accionemos como miembro del BID. Miguel, te solicito por favor que hagamos una junta en la brevedad posible, nos juntemos para poder hablar sobre este asunto. Lo quería yo ventilar para que el público estuviera enterado y creo que muchos están en acuerdo con esta situación que estamos llevando a cabo. Otro punto que quería yo tocar es la relación que existe muchas veces entre la ciudad, de que se supone que nos tiene que apoyar, y apoyar, por decir, yo soy un comerciante de 18 años, me dedico a la venta de vidrios y he tocado puerta aquí en la ciudad para poderles ofrecer mi servicio, de tal forma de que pues hasta ahorita en estos 18 años no he contado con ningún, no ha sido solicitado, vamos, ¿verdad? Si tú tienes un servicio y vienes y lo ofreces a la ciudad, se supone que tiene que quedarse el dinero dentro de la ciudad, no irse a otra parte. ¿Por qué? Porque pagamos impuestos, pagamos licencias y es algo que incluso las licencias, vaya, hay que tocar la llaga, ¿no? Están un 350% arriba de cualquier otra ciudad que esté en el valle, ¿no? Entonces hay muchas acciones que tenemos que tomar para poder mejorar, sobre todo que estamos a la entrada de México. Ya parece Mexicali aquí, la verdad, o sea, homeless, ladrones, algunos de los que están aquí ya han sido víctimas de gente que se hace pasar por homeless. ¿Y qué es lo que ocurre? Que nada más andan haciendo daño, robando, vandalismo, muchas cosas. En realidad está muy bonito todo lo que hablamos aquí, se pinta todo muy maravilloso, pero la acción está allá afuera, y allá es donde nosotros tenemos que ver acción de las personas que están aquí. Así que por favor les pido al miembro del concilio, Miguel, que tú has estado encargado de esta situación, que por favor en la brevedad posible nos juntemos. Necesitamos trabajar para realmente ofrecerle a Calexico, a su gente, lo que estamos ofreciendo. Es todo. Acciones, acciones, amigo. Queremos acciones, es todo. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias.
Lisa Garrett. Lisa Garrett.
I actually didn't know I was speaking. My name is Lisa Garrett, and I run a kitten rescue in Imperial Valley. And why is that important to us here? Because I took in a bunch of Calexico cats, and I fixed them, and I found them homes. So I think we kind of collectively all came today because we heard about the feeding ban. So we don't want that feeding ban to go over to Brawley and El Centro. So, and I know she mentioned the ABA, the American Board Association. So that's 400,000 attorneys that group together that say TNR is good. So if 400,000 attorneys say that, then Calexico should probably say that too. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mr. Kim?
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches, miembros de Ciudadanos de Concilios. Ahorita está mirando muy triste de la cara de Calexico, Ciudad Calexico. Ciudad Calexico necesita ayudar a los ciudadanos. Por eso Ciudad Calexico, ese es su trabajo. Pero Ciudad Calexico, en lugar de ayudar, o sea, como que le dando problema o quieres quitarlo de ellos, de negociantes de pequeño. Ellos, no hay trabajo, Valle, no hay trabajo, ellos se hizo un negocio chiquita para Summit. Ellos, cuando cerrando esta, que no va a tener, y no va a tener desempleo tampoco. Yo vino aquí año 81. Mucho mi experiencia trabajando en Las Palmas y un tiempo trabajado en Santo Tomás. Pero nunca he escuchado, dice que inseguridad de Calexico o Santo Tomás. Nunca hizo oficialmente corregirlo cuando mirando cosas de problema, nunca tratando, corrigiendo, ya no forzando, corrigiendo, hasta el sentido de Santo Tomás, agarra chance, lugar de ayuda, le dando problema. Esa ciudad Calexico, era moralmente, una humano, relación de humano no debe ser tampoco. Concilio con gusto haciendo. ¿Cómo puede ser esperando concilio que haya sentado por fregarle con nosotros? Yo estaba con concilio 4 años, nunca tuvieron problema, nunca salió, dice que tenía problemas de que en Santo Tomás o Las Palmas, pero es un lugar de seguridad. Ustedes, ciudad, cuando le dejaron trabajo, cuando dices algo, consiguiendo algún problema de que muy seguro o muy serio, o seguridad, lo que sea, hablando, mucho cantaba que seguridad, y nunca hizo nada por aquello. Y después ya que encendió y ya sacaron todos. Pero también no era con todos el familia, no más Santo Tomás. Yo he escuchado políticos trabajando, sacarlo calle, allá más, hasta extensión de César Chávez, hasta Colo. Alguien va a tener muy buen negocio por tierra. ¿Sí? Esos políticos están tan sucios. Por eso ustedes, cuando yo estaba sentado, Mr. Haji también, me parando, no puede hablarlo, traerlo cosas de afuera. Me bloqueando, hasta habló la policía 2 veces, pues me quitaron de sillas. Cuando probando financieros, todo está como una comic book, todo lo mentira número, yo quiero quejar, me quitaron derecho de voz. Me quitaron hablando 2 veces, obligando pues jefe de policía que me le quitara. Ese concilio ahorita represente con nosotros. Por favor, trabajar, hacer su trabajo, hacerlo ayudar a los ciudadanos. Gracias.
Marcelina Ochoa.
Buenas noches, señores de la mesa. Hi, Maurice. Buenas noches a todos. Yo vengo a pedir un favor enorme, que como residentes de Calexico tengan en cuenta el trabajo que desempeñan estas personas que nos hacen el favor de levantar la basura. Hace años fueron despedidas varias personas que trabajan ahora en esta compañía por empleados de la ciudad, corrieron a otros empleados de la ciudad, y estas familias tenemos que cuidarlas para que no se nos vayan. Estamos hablando de años atrás. Muchas personas de los que trabajan en esta compañía de limpieza eran empleados de la ciudad y ahora están pidiendo renovación de contrato, están ofreciendo nuevas oportunidades, nuevas acciones para la ciudad, el cual debemos apoyarlos a ellos. Tenemos que apoyarnos a nosotros como residentes. Un servicio no es el que vaya a la máquina y te levante. Un servicio está completo de las personas que se meten a tu casa, van y te ayudan. Yo vivo en el 828 de la calle 7, enfrente al Community Center. Pertenece a Housing. Ahí hay muchas personas que necesitan ayuda desde que vayan y les ayudan hasta dentro de su casa. Yo lo he visto. No nada más es de que vayan y le saquen el bote, lo pongan en la banqueta y la máquina lo levante. No, es un servicio personal, el cual debemos de cuidar esa calidez. Si contratan a otra compañía, va a venir personas ajenas, van a enfriar esa relación que hay con los pocos ciudadanos que reciben ayuda de esas personas. El servicio es completo, no nada más es el de la calle. Según oí proyecto de que van a usar barredoras ciertos días limpiando el primer cuadro, el downtown hediondo, lo van a atender. Un servicio adicional que Calexico necesita. Hay dinero, hay apoyo, pero no hay ciudadanos que realmente apoyen a las personas que hace años fueron despedidos y quieren volverlos a retirar de este trabajo, de esta área que es su casa, que es de nosotros, es Calexico. Muchas gracias y mil disculpas, y espero que realmente apoyarlos a ellos es apoyarnos a nosotros, es el servicio personal que nos dan. Muchísimas gracias, buenas noches.
Moving on to city council comments, and we'll go down with, I guess, Ms. Hernandez.
Good evening.
Just,
I am
I'm
from
I'm
North
sorry.
Central,
Did you
and-
fill out a card? Did you fill out a card to speak?
Well, I'm new here. I just drove in from San Diego, actually.
What a ride. Go ahead.
Thank you. I've been actively involved with the TNR program since 1980, when Joe Clark and Joe Catania were vets in Brawley, and they took me under their wing. I am now affiliated with the FCC in San Diego, and I transport easily 600 cats a year to San Diego for neutering and spaying. Today, I took 12 and 2 others, and we put in for foster care. And Blythe, 2 months ago, we went into Blythe, and we rented a U-Haul and took in 60 cats to the FCC. Christmas Eve, we did 30 cats. And they are working with the Imperial Valley like they've never worked before, and I think we need the opportunity. Audrey, my supervisor, was going to come down tonight, but the weather was so bad she didn't. But I would like one of you to go to the clinic. We have them on Wednesdays and Fridays in San Diego. It's on El Cajon Boulevard. And it's quite an experience. And I volunteer every week, and I take at least 12 cats a week. And we have probably taken at least 50 this month and put them into adoption in San Diego. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you driving back tonight, or are you going to stay overnight? Are you driving back, or are you going to stay over?
I'm from El Centro.
Oh,
I grew up in Brawley, and the other place that I recently trapped a year and a half ago was a trailer park in El Centro, and we trapped over 100 cats. Myself and another girl, we have not had one kitten this year.
congratulations. City.
Mayor, I'm also, I'm not from San Diego, I'm just from Wolfville, but I just want to say that if I didn't know I had to go out and park either, and I'm also here about the trap litter return. You're not punishing the people that leave the cats, like you said, it's gonna get rid of the cats. If you want people not to have a lot of kittens, maybe you should make a requirement that the people that have cats get them licensed and spayed or neutered, and that would really help.
Yeah. You have some late ones too?
Carmen Estrada.
Buenas noches, soy Carmen Estrada, soy directora y fundadora del programa Calexico Parents Athletic Association. Primeramente quisiera pedirles a ustedes que para la próxima junta o cualquier junta nos pongan en la agenda para hacer una presentación del programa, porque lo del programa es algo muy largo y es algo que se ha hecho bastantes cosas y varias personas de las cuales están aquí han ayudado al programa y me gustaría tener una presentación para darles el nombre a ellos y el nombre al programa, que es de la comunidad, de todo el Valle Imperial. También quiero darle las gracias a las personas que estuvieron al pendiente de nuestra liga abierta, que son niños de 18 a 35 años, niños que no tienen la oportunidad de seguir continuando en nuestra liga de infantil, porque son niños que tienen que pagar los de 18 y 35 años. Duramos un mes y medio pues inactivos porque pues no teníamos la facilidad de tener el dinero, el cual ya gracias a Dios dimos una parte, llegamos a un arreglo aquí con el city manager, con Sandra. La verdad, para mí, yo estoy ahorita contenta porque sí hubo un acuerdo positivo y eso es un estrés menos para nosotros y para los jóvenes que estábamos preocupados de estar inactivos. Es algo estresante. Yo lo digo personal porque yo soy una persona que quiero estar activa. Para mis 60 años creo que estar activa es lo mejor, es salud, estar activo, salud y tener educación. Entonces, quiero darle las gracias y yo sé que sí se puede cuando llega uno aquí y habla con el city manager. Hay que tener una cita y yo en lo personal soy una señora que sí soy muy enojona cuando yo veo que estamos haciendo positivo y no hay apoyo, pues claro, me enojo, pero sí hay un arreglo, sí hubo un arreglo y estoy dándole las gracias, Sandra, de nuevo a él y a las personas que estuvieron con nosotros, porque la verdad esto es algo muy bueno para la comunidad. Tenemos 3 ligas, que es la de niños autistas, tenemos la liga de 3 años a 18 y la liga de adultos, que es de 18 a 35, 40 años. La verdad estoy muy contenta, es algo muy grande lo que tenemos en nuestra comunidad, es la liga más grande del Valle Imperial y no hay un costo que digas tienes que pagar para estar activo. No, aquí el que tiene da 25 al año y el que no, no da. Y la mayoría no da, porque quiero decirles que aquí Calexico no son personas que tienen un trabajo fijo, la mayoría de las personas trabajan en el campo, la mayoría de las personas tienen desempleo y la verdad tenemos que trabajar para esas personas, para esas familias. Gracias.
Anybody else, Ms. Garcia? Moving on to council comments. Ms. Hernandez? Any comments for the council?
No comments.
Mr. Risen?
I have a comment here. If you look at the east side of Cordova Park, they started the groundbreaking thanks to the IAD, Eric Ortega, and the other directors. And on top of it is Mr. Dale and Miguel Figueroa. So they're doing a lot of work out there now, and it should be done pretty soon, right, Dale? Because they've been working for the last 7-8 days. You see tractors out there from the IAD. Is Eric Ortega here? No.
Yes, he is.
There you go. I'd like to congratulate you, Eric, for being on top of this.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega.
And as far as downtown, we're going to start to clean up in the next month. We're going to have a car show on May 4th. We're getting started, and we're going to clean up the alleys. You won't smell all that stenchy smells after we get done. We're working hard on this, and you'll see a different Calexico the next month and a half. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Risen. Mr. Romero, any comments?
I just want to really quick congratulate and welcome the newest consultant to the planning department, Mr. Christopher Velasco. You want to just stand up really quick? Gentleman has a master's in urban planning from the University of Columbia, if I'm not mistaken. Columbia University. And, obviously some of the biggest help we need is in planning to facilitate more permits and businesses. And I think he's going to be elemental to that team and to the benefit of the entire city. So once again, welcome to the team, Mr. Velasco.
Welcome.
I'm sure you're going to help Ralph a lot.
Mr. Hodge, any comments?
Yes. Little by little, we want to restore the commissions. What has come forth and been determined so far is, number one, we have a template of scheduled meetings and members on each commission now, so we know who's who and what the commissions are. Some bylaws, there's still commissions that need to do their bylaws, and we have the procedures, and very happy to say that we have or had future training. We need to continue with completing the bylaws for every commission, and the commissions need to do and complete a 5-year master plan. You don't have to, but it's a great strategy. It allows you to, in a sense, you're in your car and you know where you're going. It's a map. Please look into this and move forward. Another thing is, we talk about morale, we talk about dignity, we talk about respect. And in this case, I think it is time again that we spend a little money and we get commission cards. We get commission cards, the cards for the commissioners. And also, the secretaries of every commission, we would appreciate, I believe, the council here, that however you do it is fine, but we have information or a report to us as far as who is attending and who is not attending. It's also our responsibility as council members to talk to our commissioners, but if we could do something systemic, that would be even better. Those were the two items that I wanted to mention, so thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hodge. We had an invitation to go to Mexicali on their 116th celebration in Mexicali, and I was taken across with Mr. Figueroa, and we got there on time. Got there at 6 and started at 6:30, but we had an excellent evening, and we were recognized as City of Calexico, and it was a nice event for the citizens of Mexicali. There's a lot of work going on, as mentioned, a lot of streets being redone and overlaid, so which is good. Not to get too ahead of ourselves, the summer is coming, and I got a text from our other school board members about working out a schedule for the pool.
Excellent.
So I don't know if we need to get together with
Please.
our rec department and city manager, to meet with school board people. Thank you. That's all I had. City manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to add to the comments that Councilman Risen made about the IID. And add to those, the IID is also helping us replace some lights at the parks that we can't get to. For one thing, we didn't have an electrician, and we also didn't have the equipment to get that high. So some of the IID workmen came on their own time, I believe, and helped us replace some lights. And I would like to add and thank Board President Ortega now, right? And Norma Galindo, of course. Also, going back to the Cordova Park, the grading now is complete. There's still a lot of surplus dirt that will be removed. We're still removing that dirt. What is a win-win situation with the IID, because they needed the dirt, we needed it gone, so it was a win-win situation, and I'd like to thank him again for that. IID and Board President Ortega has also been instrumental in helping us getting our street lights reactivated in the town center area. So that is a huge, so that we can get that back into the development phase. So that really helps a lot, and I wanted to say thank you again for that. So back on the Cordova Park, just as a reporting item, we do plan, now that the field is graded, which the grading was beyond we couldn't do it. So now that it's done, we're going to be working on the irrigation. We have the design, preliminary design ready, and we're going to be start the irrigation in the next 2 weeks. Putting that in, hopefully we'll have it ready for the season so we can plant grass before it gets too hot and we can have the grass started. Then we have other phases we have to do, but getting that done is the biggest one. So again, thank you.
Mr. Figueroa, any comments?
Yes, I want to point out that Councilman Rison and myself yesterday hosted a number of merchants from downtown. This was a request that was made to us. We met here at the chambers, and we listened. We took notes on their concerns. It also gave us the opportunity to tell them the things that we've been working on for the past year and a half, which are now becoming to show us that money can actually be brought down from state programs to utilize in downtown and address the complex problem that we all know exists there. We talked about the $200,000 that was secured through SCAG, through their Sustainable Communities Program, and how that's going to help address the, I'll get this right, it's the Rockwood Plaza Promenade, which is a project that we're looking for in downtown between 1st and 2nd Street on Rockwood Avenue, that's going to help change the dynamic, and it's going to go back to a lot of the planning and the work that's been talked about for many years. So we got that seed money, we shared that with the merchants. In addition to that, we touched on something that was raised right now, which is the Business Improvement District, and the issues that have existed that have not allowed for the district to meet and convene and serve the role that it has to serve businesses within the district. We also heard concerns from property owners and business owners from downtown about businesses outside of the bid being given the opportunity to piggyback on services so they can receive a benefit from the city. So we touched on a number of items, and these are items that, as much as we would love to move and get them done as soon as possible, in order for things to get done the right way, they take time and they take planning. I mentioned to you right now an opportunity that came about that we were successful in receiving money that we're going to inject in downtown. There are other projects such as that one that are coming down the pipeline. Restoring some of the historical buildings in downtown so we can keep them and take advantage of what the previous council approved in 2018, which is the mixed use. And I can go on and on, but that was the dialogue that we had with these merchants from downtown. We anticipate to share more detail with downtown folks on projects specific for downtown, like Councilman Rison just mentioned. So you're going to begin to see those things come up as reports in our city council. I also want to share with the council and the community that there is a new effort spearheaded by the California Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon, which is the California-Mexico Strategic Dialogue. This is a new opportunity. It's an initiative to position legislators with the key projects that are needed in border communities such as ours. So with that in mind, we received an invitation from the Assembly Speaker to attend this first meeting that's going to take place. We're called upon so we can share our experience in being successful, not only in obtaining funds, but having a shovel-ready project for our New River Parkway that we've been talking about in previous meetings. In addition to that, the infrastructure money that we've secured to do the remediation that needs to happen from the border all the way to the 2nd Street Bridge. So we're going to share our path as to how we got to being possibly a few months away from bidding out the contract to construct the parkway in the west side of town. That's going to take place in the first week of April, so I'll be returning and sharing with everybody the experience of going with Assemblymember Todd Gloria and Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia to this first initiative from the state of California. On that end, Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, I would like to pull 3 items from consent so staff can provide further detail on them. And those are 12, 15, and 16.
Thank you.
I have speakers, sir.
So we're going to approve 9, 10, 11, 13, 14,
Mayor.
and pull items 12, 15, and 16 for presentation. And 17.
17.
We're adopting
17?
I'll make a motion.
second.
Mr. Mayor Pacheco,
Wait.
I do have some speakers for some of those items. Do you want to take them in?
That's fine. Well, when we get
Hang on.
to them.
Mr. Kim?
You want a little, okay.
Thank you. One thing I forgot to mention, because I was so excited to be here in front of everybody, was that tomorrow the police department's going to host Mr. Gerardo Paez. He's going to be the honorary chief. Plus, we have 3 other school-age children that are going to be police officers for about 3 to 4 hours. So I have police officers coming in on their own time to take them on ride-alongs so they can be police officers. I forgot to mention it, so just give you guys heads up. If you guys see them out there, say hi to them. If they handcuff the council, I'm sorry, but they're doing their job.
Thank you. That starts tomorrow.
9 o'clock, sir.
9 o'clock.
Mr. Kim?
What should I do? I wrote down the 12, 13, 15, 17.
What item are you going to speak on, Mr. Kim?
He has items 13, 15, 12, and 17. He just
You're going to give them 5 minutes for each?
Has a list.
I would take them all. I would take all comments on consent calendar now. Obviously, people are limited to 3 minutes, so we just need to make sure we're keeping time.
Thank you. You may begin, Mr. Kim. Your time has started.
Number 12. And I believe I was mentioning several times of the ICTC. And I know this is not it's a surface, a street, they're gonna fix it. But I believe the council needs to see the ICTC relations to some of the business or service we need to bring back to our hometown to do serve our community right. Because our senior citizens, or a lot of people, they need the right. We don't get the same service we're supposedly used to receive it. So that's why I was mentioning number 12. Number 13, the fire departments. Fire departments, when I was at council, we funded $7 million for the fire departments, to new fire departments. And suddenly, politics works, they're chipping and chipping. I believe they leave around $3 million left, about 3.5 left over. And I hopefully don't waste any money and the time anymore. If we want to do it, do it. Don't wait until all the money is gone. That's my number 13. Number 14, 15. We started hiring officers at about financial departments. They've been working hard to supporting our cities in financial departments. But at this point, if we have more money, I believe community gonna be like it to have more safety officers. We are lack of the safety officers. We are short of about 20 police officers. We have a short of around 5 police officers. And we are hiring more people from the inside the office and jeopardizing citizens' safety. Please think about that. If we have money for the boss, perfect. But if we don't, we have to pay attention or spend more money, or priority is the safety of the community. Especially police officers, we are very short. I believe we need the council members need to consider about the service of the safety of the community. Thank you. Number 15. Number 17, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't know why they wanted to close down to the Santo Tomas. This one, they want to make the straight street connected to Cesar Chavez. Guess what? We're hit. Town Center Plaza. So they are willing to make the new road for the Town Center Plaza. At the same time, Town Center Plaza, they filed the bankruptcies. They owe the city or counties. They owe several things, and the city of Calexico want to fund it more. Even we are jeopardizing $3 million returning to the EDA because there are false documents, false actions. And Controller's Office, I believe 2011, they have a report saying they are initial all the false documents to get the money. And the big article came out, and after that, they couldn't pay, and they went bankruptcies, 2 bankruptcies. And now they want to spend over $300,000 for them from the impact fee, a major D money, $1.7 million. Mr. Raisin, you want to clean the downtown? There's money. Why we have the money to just like the false documents, false company? They never done anything. They spent money and they couldn't do anything because they didn't have tenants. They don't have any project going on. So what they done, City of Calexico, they give them millions and millions of dollars. I believe that Mr. Hachi was lobbying for them. And we made the mistakes, we keeping doing it. So City of Calexico, you want to spend the City of Calexico money where? Because fake company, fake project, and big company, not small merchants like us, not citizens. Look at the downtown, how filthy. They have over $300 million. Even I see that they didn't receive over $300,000 from the what's called the Grand Plaza, they not received yet. We didn't collect about $60 million impact fee from the Grand Plazas. What is going on here? Are we, our council members, covering those big projects, policy projects? Or our council going to serve the community? We should not fund it. We should spend the money to serve the community.
Thank you. You.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not yet. Sorry. That wasn't 13, that was 18. I'm sorry.
That's it, okay. Going back to the consent agenda, where if there's a motion and a second to approve 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 17.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're going to listen now to item number 12, Mr. Figueroa.
So for item number 12, I'm going to call upon our staff member, Lili Falomir, manager at our Public Works Department.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. The item before you is the adoption of the resolution to allow the Public Works Department to submit a grant application through the Surface Transportation Block Grant. The application that we would like to submit is a $1.3 million project. It's to do street improvements on Yerman Road between Jasper and the Central Main Canal. That road is heavily used, and it's really in major need of repairs. So we want to go ahead and submit a competitive a competitive grant through ICTC for $1.3 million.
Is this grant competitive or?
Yes, it is. The Surface Transportation Block Grant, it's approximately 2.5 for fiscal year 1920, 2021, 21-22. So hopefully we get it awarded, whether it's in 1920, which we're hoping, if not, maybe through the other 2 years. And also we want to repair that to bring in new business in that area.
If I'm not mistaken, Yorman is when they're coming in from 111, they come in and turn left to avoid Imperial. They take that and they pass Walmart and they Toys R Us. And the street is really, that little road is really
bad.
Yes, and recently it's been used a lot because Caltrans is working on Highway 111. So people are using either Scaroni or Yerman Road. So hopefully, I'm hopefully confident that we get the money, and that's why we're requesting.
Cross our fingers.
Yes.
Thank you for applying.
It's a business development tool as well, so we need to take advantage of that.
That's true.
Mr. Mayor. For items 15 and 16, I want to call upon our Finance Director, Carla Lovatos, so she can provide more detail to the council on this.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I have items 15 and 16. As you well know, the Finance Department was in extreme need of guidance and a lot of controls and a lot of work. As of now, we're making things better. Things are looking better now. And the reason why I'm requesting to remove the freeze on a budgeted position, which is the accountant and my 2 accounting assistants, is because we still have a lot more to do. As you well know, the State Controller's Office came in. They will continue to come back. So I want to have things in order. And in order for me to get that done, I need adequate staff. And we're working diligently on closing the books, getting an audit done. And as you well know, our financials are the key to everything, grants and everything else. We need financials. We need financial information that is accurate, that is done timely. So in order for me to get that done, I need to request these positions.
We want one full-time accountant, and then we're going to ask for 2 part-time.
Well, I have the 2 part-timers. They're permanent part-time, but I would like to request them to become
full-time.
full-time. Correct.
Two
Two.
full-times.
Ms. Lovatos, is salary savings also something that you're using for this?
That is correct. I have salary savings. As most of the department heads know, I do keep a really good track on salaries, overtime. Last year, the finance department had a lot of overtime. This time has been reduced to almost nothing. And that is mainly because I do keep a really good eye on all the expenditures. That's something, as I've told a lot of the department heads, that is something I can control. Revenue, it's out of my hands, but expenses are on my hands. So I do keep control of all the salaries and all the expenses. So my department specifically has a lot of savings on salaries and especially overtime. So this is one of the reasons why I would like to request that position. It was budgeted, but it was due to the hiring freeze. I did not hire anybody.
There is a little bit of money now.
A little bit.
That's good.
We're still keeping track of
That's
all of
good.
our expenses and controlling.
Any
all of it.
questions? Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. Thank you, Ms. Lovato.
Thank you.
Oh, fine, Director Lovatos, is there a need to pull it out now after you've given us that presentation? And we just,
We're gonna put it back on now
okay,
for vote.
thank you.
Someone please shut the back doors there, the chamber doors.
We can now jump back into it.
Thank you.
And we're going to approve 12, 15, and 16. Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
All those in favor of accepting 12, 15, and 16, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried.
Any clarification on who made the motion?
Mr. Hodge?
Mr. Hodge? Thank you.
Someone has to make a motion. I'll make the motion that we approve number 12, 15, and 16 under the consent agenda.
I second.
I believe Mr. Romero second.
Thank you, sir.
And again, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Discussion and potential actions, item 18. Any speakers for this item, Ms.?
Yes, several.
José Luis Arámbula.
Buenas noches, honorable alcalde, ayuntamiento, personal. Mi nombre es José Luis Arámbula, soy residente de la ciudad de Calexico por 43 años. He sido conductor para Republic Services durante 23 años. En nombre de mis compañeros de trabajo y de mí mismo, quiero hablarles de cómo Republic Services se compromete proporcionando trabajos con buen pago en el Valle Imperial. De hecho, somos 22 empleados trabajando nuestras operaciones locales que residen en la ciudad de Calexico. Somos parte de Teamsters y tenemos excelentes beneficios y salarios. Republic Services se compromete a ser buen socio económico para la ciudad de Calexico y el Valle Imperial. Además de proporcionar buenos empleos, Republic Services invierte en las comunidades a las que servimos. Nos hemos asociado con las cámaras de comercio y la ciudad para asegurar la participación y financiamiento para eventos comunitarios como el Festival del Mariachi, participación, financiamiento para eventos gracias a las familias locales, becas universitarias, la celebración de aniversario de la ciudad, también el desfile de Navidad y la recaudación de juguetes para los niños de la comunidad. También nos hemos asociado con la ciudad para eventos importantes de la comunidad, como la celebración del centenario y proyectos especiales de limpieza. Para terminar, le pido que por favor voten para negociar la extensión del contrato con Republic Services. Les aseguro que como su conductor de la comunidad, junto con mis compañeros de trabajo, seguiremos ofreciendo un excelente servicio al cliente. Nos comprometemos sin comprometer la seguridad de los residentes. Perdón, me puse nervioso. Ok, muchas gracias por su atención.
Luis, gracias.
Gracias.
Mike Morales.
Just a quick comment, el 18 no es para renovar contratos ahorita. El 18 no es para renovar el contrato ahorita. Eso viene después. Okay?
Committee council members, my name is Mike Morales. I am the team representative, and I represent the employees here at Public Services. And I just wanted to make a few comments. You've heard quite a bit about number 18, so I'd just like to bring up a few items as well. In order for a city to prosper and to attract more business, it needs to maintain and keep up a clean city in order to attract more business and to keep the business. And that starts with a clean city, and that's what Allied Waste Republic Services has maintained with the city for the past 22 years. You know, there's a reason why the contract has been extended 3 different times. The first time it was for 7 years, second time was for 5 years, and the third time for 10 years, for a total of 22 years. And there's a reason for that, because they're a good company and they provide good professional work, and the city has benefited from having that working relationship with Allied Waste, okay? And there's no other company that can provide the same level of service, the same quality of service, and the same level of personal service that they have given, and the relationship they have built with this community and the citizens of this community, okay? And another thing, just like Mr. Arambula stated, he's an employee and a citizen of the city of Calexico. He's also a voter in the city of Calexico. And lastly, I just want to state that the citizens have spoken loudly. They made their opinions made known, that they desire to extend this agreement and not have it brought out to bid. So, and they have encouraged the council to listen to them and to do away with the idea of bringing in a consultant. It's not necessary. I think the more beneficial avenue is to extend contract with Allied Republic Services. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Carlos García. Carlos García. Mr. Kim?
Buenas noches. Ya hablando con mucha gente ya frente de mí, pero yo, sí, yo necesito hablar lo que yo pensando, yo necesito hablar lo comunidad de los servicios. Si tenemos muchos empleados de que el public dice que buenos servicios, comunidad necesita tener buenos servicios y bueno razonable precio. Y porque sistema de gobierno por lo mismo corriendo sistema de RPC, alguien quien cobrando más barato con mismo servicio o mejor servicio. Cuando fallando, está fallando poniendo una transparencia para el lugar de comunidad. Dice que contento y no contento es otro lado. En principio, legalmente debe estar corriendo RFC. Pero yo contra ese número 18 no era para lo que darle contrato por ellos. Trabajo de empleado de ciudad debe saberlo RFC, hacerlo. Muchos otros ciudadanos hacen, cuando no sabe, puede sacarlo copias de otra ciudad, está como alterando, cambiando con lo que conviene para ciudad Calexico. Pero hacerlo en lugar de esta, pagando tanto dinero, pero agarrando consultant, para agarrar consultant. Entonces, ¿por qué necesita que empleados de ciudad aquí? ¿Por qué hasta concilio para hacerlo una contrato? Cada quien tiene su trabajo y ese trabajo debe ser trabajo de que si empleadas, chance de chequearlo, pero legalmente que es correcto, chance abogados entra. Todo el mundo necesita tenerlo que RFC con nosotros por darle servicio bueno. Como que hablando bueno servicio el público se va a agarrar con su RP process. ¿Por qué tiene miedo para extenderlo? El gobierno de trabajo de gobierno necesita tener todo el tiempo que abriendo chance con toda la compañía y tener la mejor condición para la comunidad. Este concilio debe estar no aceptarlo esta RFC, necesita trabajar con STEP, necesita trabajar con RFC, sacarlo de que quién paga barato y para cobrarlo barato concilio, ciudadanos servicios. Ahorita pagando como $40. Yo gastando agua menos que 30% del año pasado, todo el mundo pagando $103. Entonces, gastando mismo, me costaba tener como $140. Esta no debe ser eso, pagando ahorita mucho, necesito buscarlo mejor servicio con razonable precio.
Time's up.
Ricardo Servín.
Buenas tardes. Yo fui empleado del a los Public, pero yo estoy trabajando muy a gusto con el Public Sanitation. Yo creo que deben de empezar las cosas bien, qué es lo que van a hacer, porque el Public pide un servicio que te van a montar un mueble. Ellos, tú hablas, te lo montan el mueble este. En los eventos de la ciudad, tú pides un servicio de que pongan basura para este evento. Muchos empleados aquí, que están aquí presentes, tú viven en Calexico. Y que trabajan en el ¿cómo se llama? Recycling, son empleados, viven aquí en Calexico. También pagan impuestos en Calexico. Piden las cosas bien, hacen lo que vayan a decidir. Yo como ex empleado de la Republic, pienso lo que van a hacer. Voto que se quede Republic. Esto es lo que quiero decir. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Servín. We're going to move now to item 18. It reads, authorize the manager to sign an agreement, professional services with R3 Consulting Group, Inc., to develop an RFP for solid waste collection, hauling, and recycling. Is there a presentation, Mr. Dale?
Just an oral presentation,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor. You know, we've been going back and forth on this item. I'd like to start by saying to all the members of the audience and the public there is that Republic for this city has been doing a superb job in the past year. It's been great, and I congratulate all you guys for the work that you've been doing. This has nothing to do with the quality of work that you've been doing. It's been excellent by far. But I believe that my fiduciary responsibility is to the 41,000 people that live here. I don't have a fiduciary responsibility to Republic, and I believe the city is in the same position. The council, we have a fiduciary responsibility to public. Going to the bid process will only give you information that you can act on or not act on. You can either continue with the current company or move on to another company, but it will give you the information to move forward. And I want to say that there are certain legislative compliance that we're going to have to comply with in the very near future, specifically SB 1383, which is organic recycling. Now, there's going to be cost to our consumers for that. We don't know what the costs are yet, but going to bid will give us those prices because we're going to be requesting those items in our bid. We're also being requesting a number of other services that will be, for example, street sweeping, and I know that Republic has given us a price for that, but it seems to me on a fiduciary responsibility basis alone that should be an item that goes to bid. That's just an opinion. I don't think it's a legal responsibility. I don't know. I'll defer to our city attorney. But again, I want to congratulate Republic for what a great job they're doing. But there are certain things that I feel like this is a fiduciary responsibility, that to at least bring it to council for your review and approval. If you approve it or not, that could be up to council. So I don't know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them.
I'm just looking at the legislative compliances. You've got AB 341, 1594, 1826,
yes,
and SB 1383.
Correct.
So we want to make sure that our proposals are going to include specifically and target those pieces of legislation.
Yes, and
Senate Bill 1380 is addressed.
And that's why we're proposing to have a consultant do this, because they're experts in this field. And it also kind of takes out the politics, because you have a third party reviewing the bids and will make recommendations. Again, this is just recommendations. It does by no means at this point that we're going to be moving to another company. It will only give you the council the information to make an informed decision. That's all this is.
And Mr. Dale, the contract for the consultant, how does that work again for the actual bidding out?
So the consultant will prepare the RFP, which is going to be an in-depth process with staff to add all the additional services that we want in there. They will perform the bidding process. They will receive the bids, review the bids, and make recommendations to the council based on those, because they have the expertise. They have several cities that they've worked on in this particular field of expertise. So that's why we're recommending a consultant, because it takes out the sort of the politics. It just gives you the data only that you can act on or not act on. And so, and again, I mean, other cities have done this. The city of El Centro went through this process with a consultant for this very exact reason, because it is a high value contract. It's over $40 million. And we just want to be as transparent as possible. We have the state controller's office looking at us through a microscope on every contract we make. So we just want to be sure that we're doing things above and doing the right thing. And I'm not saying that signing a contract to extending is not the right thing. It just feels like the fiduciary responsibility to the citizens would be the best. But.
And I hear you. We want to get the best deal for the best price. And we want to be open and transparent. So we can act either after this is done to say yay or nay to whomever. There is a selection, and we can decide who you want to keep. But it gives us a chance to see proposals from other companies. So if we put it out to bid, we'll get a chance to see proposals from other companies. Any questions? Anybody have a? I'm sorry. This is for the. No. We already had a chance to speak already. I'm sorry. Is there a comment on the from the board?
I'd just like to know, what is the cost again?
So the exact cost is
$98,000.
$98,000, and we had proposed
$98,000.
that to be returned over 10 years to the city. $98,000, and if you save more than that over the course of 10 years, it would be more than pay for itself.
Then you say who's gonna pay for that? Who will
Sorry?
be paying for that?
Who would pay for that?
Yeah.
So we have a solid waste fund. We have that money in the fund right now that we could use to pay for it.
Nico, the problem is that the 98,000 is going to be paid by the city, and we're going to get reimbursed by the company. Is that correct?
That's the proposal. It doesn't, we don't have to do that.
Okay, well, that's a proposal, and also, it will be the stakeholders, the residents will have to pay back the 98,000. That's what
it
Ms.
is.
Fernandez is asking.
True, but we don't know what the prices are going to come in, but if the prices are over 10 years, you're talking about $10,000 a year. And if we save that by going to bids,
That was the problem that I have, is I don't think we should raise our water rates anymore. We're paying enough.
Raise?
So
Don't say that.
this is not about raising the rates. It's about getting the best rates.
Well, it's going to go up, isn't it?
No.
A little.
It might based on the SB 1383, but regardless, it's going to go up based on that.
Where's all that? A, B.
We're going to call for the question then for item number 18. We want to develop an RFP, an RFQ for solid waste collection and hauling and recycling. Is there a motion? I make a motion that we accept item 18. Is there a second?
If we don't receive a second, then the motion fails.
Moving on to item number 19.
Well, wait a minute, I'd like to say something, if that's okay. Since the RFP process will cost the city of Citizens possibly upwards to $100,000, I think it would be best to first give our existing vendor an opportunity. If we cannot reach an agreement with them, we can bring back the authorization for the consultant and complete the RFP process. So I would like to, if this is the proper way of doing it, make a motion directing the city manager to negotiate a contract extension with our existing service provider and bring this back to the council for a vote. Is that possible? Yeah? Yeah.
If that's a motion.
Okay, that's the motion.
Do we bring back that for next month?
No, it would be an extent, I mean, we'd have to sit down and try to negotiate a
Right.
mutually agreeable contract.
Can we add a specific time frame?
It's gonna depend on one, we'll probably, also it's an old franchise agreement, so whether or not we use the same franchise and work off that, or even, I could not give you an estimate right now.
I'd also like to point out that the contract ends in December this year, and that it generally takes 4 to 5 months to start up.
Well, since time is of the essence, let's give them the next meeting, 2 weeks. If they can come up with a proposal.
It would need definitely more time than that. You have to, there's a lot of new requirements there's a lot of legislative requirements. We gotta make sure whatever rate structure we're looking at. I mean,
Okay.
it's just a lot of details that go into that.
Fine.
That need to make sense for the city and not, as well as for the waste hauler themselves. We can propose something, but they also need to run their numbers.
Right.
And obviously, we have issues of potentially Prop 218, depending on what we're looking at, so the negotiations can be extensive. But if that's the direction, we'll work on it. I just can't give you a timeline right now.
Okay.
We have a motion?
I
Why make a
don't
motion?
know. What we have is item 18 was,
Died.
for lack of a second, it died. So, Mr. Hart, are you recommending a motion?
Yes, I am, sir, to negotiate a contract extension with our existing service provider.
Is there a second for that?
I
I'll
second.
second. Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No. Okay. Item 19, discuss the potential action to oppose Assembly Bill 854, which amends the Imperial Irrigation District's governance structure. Mr. Dale?
Yes, if you read your package, do you have any questions on this?
I noticed that
No.
Our district would lose if we go with.
We
this.
have, Board Director Ortega may want to have a few comments.
Mr. Ortega, did you fill out a
Ye-
card?
Yes, he did.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega. The mic is yours.
Thank you, gentlemen. Stay strong.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, and staff. On behalf of the Imperial Irrigation District, should I wait a few
No, let's
minutes?
just wait.
Yeah. So on behalf of the Imperial Irrigation District, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to bring this to your attention. This state legislation threatens the longstanding water rights of the Imperial Valley and its affordable energy rates that all the residents of the Imperial Valley benefit from. AB 854 by Assemblyman Chad Mays proposes to increase the IAD Board of Directors from 5 to 11, with the additional 6 elected seats from Riverside County. Of course, giving Riverside County the majority, diluting the Imperial Valley's voting rights. Last year, IID faced a hostile ordinance from Riverside County aimed at bypassing the jurisdictional rate-making authority of IID. We challenged the ordinance, and we prevailed in court. So now the proponents of that ordinance have moved on to the state to advance their special agenda. It's important to understand that IID's rates to serve our customers in the Coachella Valley are tied to long-standing legal agreements related to energy and water in the Coachella Valley Water District and Southern Cal Edison. This agreement stems from 1934, and it's tied to the Boulder Canyon project, which was the building of the All-American Canal. It was a 3-party agreement by the Department of Interior, Coachella Valley Water District, and Imperial Irrigation District. So this has to do with water and energy. The proponents out there in the Coachella Valley are using a phrase called taxation without representation to grab the attention and mislead the public. To be clear, the charge of an electrical service is not a tax, it's a fee. So IID's customers, all IID's customers have representation on the board and have a strong voice. IID board holds meeting in both Imperial and Coachella Valley and serves customers equally. It's reflected in our service records and especially the low rates that I continuously promote. You know, the local communities have input on energy-related projects via the Energy Consumer Advisory Board, which was created several years ago when a similar bill surfaced in 2010. Back then, it was Assemblyman Bonnie Garcia. We also are based out of La Quinta, which is our service area, and we have full-time staff. Same as here. So, in closing, this bill threatens our water and energy rights and ignores the contractual relationships that the benefit and the community served by the IID in both valleys. So, IID requests that you join us in opposing AB 854 so that we can continue to protect our water rights, which we hold near and dear. That's the lifeblood of the Imperial Valley, and we can continue to provide low power rates to both valleys. Now, recent actions at our La Quinta meeting, which are always fun because we get to drive an hour and a half away from here early in the morning, we took an action, and I added it to the agenda, that we start assessing all of our infrastructure out there to see what the value is in the event that this bill is to move forward. We may consider maybe divesting of the Coachella Valley area. And at that point, the options would be maybe another utility would maybe be interested, an investor-owned utility, which doesn't provide low rates. You're talking about 30 to 50% more than what we currently pay in the Imperial Valley. So, you know, the Coachella Valley politicians, they need to be careful what they wish for, because they may get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega.
Thank you, Mr. Ortega.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve this item, item number 19, unless there's anyone else that wants to speak.
Is there a second for this?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Assembly Bill 854. Thank you, Mr. Ortega. Item 20, discuss the potential action regarding Fructi Fundacion request for a waiver of temporary use permit filing fee. And this is a request to have our blue.
Mayor, Ms. Karina Kulyacha would like to speak.
Sé que ya es muy tarde, no les voy a quitar mucho tiempo. Nada más, pues quería agradecerles nuevamente por el honor que nos hicieron al tomar en cuenta la causa que representamos, ¿verdad? Y invitarlos, el día de hoy concretamos ya de las actividades que les comentamos que queremos hacer para este próximo mes. El día de hoy concretamos la función de cine aquí en el San Diego State University, en el auditorio, para el día 11 de abril con una carne asada a la cual están totalmente invitados. Es una función de cine con el estreno de la película Please Stand By. Es una película de estreno donde se nos habla de autismo, es una comedia-drama, es totalmente gratuita y pues gracias a las facilidades de San Diego State y el apoyo que ustedes nos han dado, estamos esperando nada más que nos confirmen algunos sponsors más, pero queremos que sean parte de estos actos, ¿no? Que son parte de las actividades de concientización y que todos debemos como comunidad formar parte para entender más lo que es el espectro autismo y lo que viven las familias. Y pues agradecerles, ¿no? El honor que nos hicieron el día de hoy y el apoyo por las actividades y ya nomás nos falta confirmar lo del 2 de abril, la iluminación de azul. Ya las demás actividades están confirmadas y están cordialmente invitados a ser parte de las actividades conmemorativas. Gracias.
Gracias.
No, gracias a ti.
Thank you.
They're asking for a waiver for temporary use for filing fee, and the waiver is $135. How do you feel about that, Mr. Risen? Can we afford
I'm for it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm for it.
Is there a motion to accept?
I'll
make a
motion
motion
to
to
accept
accept
it. Number 20?
Is there a second, Mr. Romero?
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Where are we?
Number 21, Mr.
Item
Mayor.
21.
I have a speaker, sir.
No speaker? We have a speaker?
Mr. Kemp?
Well, I'm glad to see you guys' face again. And the number 21, that is 21, 22, actually 22. That is the key point of Calexico's problem. Calexico, so many land approved the plan by developers, but the developers never plan developing anything.
They never do anything.
They are, by the plan, the land cost goes jumping okay high. So high, the person who really wants to build the house, they have to buy the land in high cost, and to sell to the people, they can't sell. That's why they're not building anymore. Several projects, they just get the plan there, just hostaging the land until all the house cost goes high, and then they're gonna come to the council and say, oh, please give me the waiver to impact fee that we can sell the house, we can build the house. That's why we don't have any build houses anymore. We should call the moratorium, all the plan, they're not building there. They've been years, over 10 years they've been doing that. We should obligate them build or cancel to take next runner to take the chance to build the house. We need to build the house to the community in reasonable new houses with a new reasonable price. But with this kind of plan project, is never gonna have a reasonable price for the community. Then we're not gonna see another building house long years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Anybody else? Did you fill out a card, please? Well, this is item 21.
Yes,
He's item 22.
item 21,
El que sigue, it's the next one.
next one. Oh,
Yeah, we're still on 21.
21.
You're
is-
22. Don't worry, I know who you are.
Okay,
I'll call
basically-
you up.
Okay, so I don't have to respond?
No,
Okay.
Right now, after this one.
after this, and then you can come up. Don't go too far. Any concerns with this?
Yeah. Mr. Dale, would you like to respond to anything that Mr. Kim said as far as the land is tied up for year after year after year? But do we have any benefit to that?
Other than the developer who owns the land, sorry, that if we do not extend this, then he has no opportunity to develop. At least we're giving an opportunity in the next 2 years. Now, I think there is a cap, and I believe that we're coming up on the end of that cap. This is probably the last one that can be extended, if I'm not mistaken. So there isn't. This is the last chance, basically.
He's the property owner.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So if you don't, then we're starting from scratch, and it'll be another
I
planning
think-
process.
I
It'll
think
take at
we
least 2
should-
years anyway.
Yeah, I think we should definitely have a cap.
And
It is a
Mr.
long
Hodge, I
period.
just want to add something to your concern because I see it as a concern and I share that concern.
Yeah.
And based on the statements that Mr. Kim mentioned, I concur with what he is stating because one of the things that we learned through LAFCO when we did our service area plan is this city has a lot of infills, a lot of infill projects. And I can tell you that I personally, through my department, am working on a couple of them, not the ones that on your agenda today, because they received an extension about 1.5 years ago. And we're being very diligent, and we're saying, I mean, we need to see this happen. Or else, I mean, we're giving you notice up front that, I mean, we're going to be concerned because you can only extend a project so much.
That's right.
So I just want to bring this to your attention because we are aware and we do share your thoughts.
So you've
about-
been communicating to these developers?
And for the record, I'm speaking about other projects that are in the same situation
I
right
see.
now that have been extended.
Call for the question then. All those in favor of accepting the extension for 2 years, is there a motion? I make a motion that we adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
Aye.
Hodge, thank you. 5-0, thank you. Item 22, consideration of request by Rustine Paz, construction company to extend expiration of tentative map for additional 2 years pursuant to the Government Code Section 66452.6E.
Mr. Paz?
Paz.
My name is Agustin Paz, and I'm the owner of that project. When we started the project on 2014, as I remember, well, I started about a year before, and we did all the engineering, all the architectural, pay all the fees to the city, purchase the land and everything. And due to market conditions, we end up losing the land because the market wasn't right for us. And all we want right now is take the chance to try to complete the project. It seems that we have a couple of investors that want to get in with us so we can finish the project and provide housing for the city. There's other cities providing housing, but right here in Calexico, it takes much longer to have the housing done because the investors, they're not willing to They have hot markets in the LA area and San Diego and other cities, and they don't want to invest here because they make less money here on their investment. So we having problems with that right now, but it seems that we have someone online that wants to participate so we can complete the project. That's all I wanted to say.
It's competition, huh? Okay. Any questions? Consideration of requests. Is there a motion to accept expiration additional 2 years?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Carried. You're good, Mr. Paz. Congratulations. You gotta work. We gotta get housing in there. Get your money. Come on down to Calexico. That's good. Eso. Okay, Mr. Risen, you have the, I'm sorry,
Number 20.
appointment of council member to the open seat vacated by Mr. Escobar to the Cannabis Subcommittee.
This is actually a committee that was formed last year by council, obviously because the cannabis industry was now going to become active through the projects that we've been discussing and the commercial activities that have been approved by council. As you rightfully mentioned, Mayor, at that point, the council approved former Mayor Pro Tem Escobar and Mr. Hodge are now Mayor Pro Tem to be in that committee. So right now, we're seeking a replacement for Jesus Escobar.
I see.
If Mr. Risen has got some free time and like him to be part of this committee.
It's
they may-
cannabis, Mr. Risen.
Cannabis, get involved. Thank you, Mr.
All
Risen.
right.
Mr. Risen. We need a vote?
You made a
Mr.
motion.
Campos? All those in favor of having Mr. Risen
Wait,
fill
you
in
make a
the...
motion.
We have to make a motion.
Yes.
I'll motion that we select Mr. Risen.
I
to
second.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried, 5-0. Congratulations, Mr. Risen. You're gonna get a lot of
Mr.
reading
Risen.
material.
You're gonna put out your commissioners.
Now we get to the, Mr. Risen's committee, commissions and committees selections.
Okay. Okay, for my arts and crafts, Maria Luisa Acevedo. Is she here? Okay,
Okay.
you're there.
Welcome.
Oh, new to town.
Okay. Economic Development will be Emilio Garcia. Camilo Garcia, is he here? Okay.
For which one, Morris?
Camilo
For
Garcia.
the
Planning?
Economic Development.
Economic. Okay.
The planning will be Ms. Cota. What's her first name?
Bogota. Leticia.
Leticia Cota. Is she here?
No.
Okay. The Police Commission will be Sal Munoz. Are you here, Sal? No, you there?
All right.
Okay, and the Parks and Recreation will be Jesse Garcia. I have a question on this one, because you have the seniors also on this one. Can we separate this one? Okay, Jesse Garcia. And the Personnel Commission will be Willie Hermosillo. Willie Hermosillo's got that one. And then, is he here? No. I guess they're not interested. I don't know. Business Improvement District, I'm going to appoint myself for 45 days until we get started. And the
Measure H.
Oversight Advisory Measure H will be Alex Peroni.
All right.
Now, is he here? Okay, that's all my commissions. Pacheco.
No, talking to Alex.
That's all the commissions I have.
Okay, so you're not short, you got everybody.
I got everybody.
Okay. You got everybody, Ms. Garcia?
Excuse me?
Except for the bids, he's gonna.
Yeah, for 45 days, like we said. Just want to get started on that, and then I'll have my point.
Any items for the future? Mr. Romero?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Hodge?
I'm very concerned and interested about the pool situation for summer. So I'm offering my time and services if I can be a part of the process on the pool.
Of what?
Swimming pool with the school board.
Oh, swimming pool, okay.
Anything for agenda, Mr. President? Mr. Fernandez, anything for an agenda item?
No, sir. Thank you.
Motion to
No.
adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.